My husband died on a Tuesday. I didn't cry right away. I just looked around our kitchen, at his coffee mug still sitting by the sink, and I thought, who am I now? Not what do I do, not how do I go on. I thought, who am I? Because for 45 years I had been Margaret and Robert. Not Margaret, Margaret and Robert. And now one half of that was gone, and I wasn't sure the other half knew how to stand up on its own. I'm 84 years old, and today I want to tell you what nobody told me, because I really wish they had. People think loneliness is about being by yourself. It's not. It's about being unseen. After Robert passed, my daughter called every day. Friends brought food. I was surrounded by people, and I was the loneliest I had ever been in my life, because Robert knew things about me no one else did. Why I didn't speak to my sister for 6 years. Then I cried the first time I saw the ocean. He was the keeper of my small, ordinary life, and when he died, all of that went with him. You don't just lose a person, you lose your entire witness. Here's what nobody prepares you for. After Robert died, I couldn't make a decision. Small ones, any of them. What to have for dinner, whether to sell the house. For 45 years, every choice had a we in it. Even when I decided something on my own, there was always someone to come home and tell it to. I remember standing in a hardware store 3 months after he passed, trying to pick a light bulb. I stood there for 15 minutes. Then I went home without it and cried harder than I had at the funeral, because it wasn't about the light bulb. It was the first moment I truly understood. He's not coming back, and I have to figure out how to be a person again. Now, here's something I almost don't want to admit, but I think you need to hear it. A long, good marriage quietly makes you helpless in ways you never notice. Robert handled the finances our entire married life. Every bill, every account. The first statement that arrived after he died, I held it in my hands and genuinely did not know what to do with it. We had divided ourselves up so efficiently, so comfortably, that we each forgot how to do the other's half. So if you are still married, please hear me. Learn each other's jobs, know the passwords, know the accounts, know where the documents are. It isn't romantic to need each other for everything. It's a trap you build together, one comfortable year at a time. 3 things surprised me that I didn't expect. The first was how fast other people moved on. 6 months in, I could feel my friends wanting me to be okay. So I learned to perform okayness, to give them what they needed. Don't do that to the grieving people in your life. Let them tell you the same story 12 times. The timeline of grief belongs only to the person doing it. The second surprise, and I'm almost embarrassed to say this, was that some days being alone wasn't only painful. Some mornings, I made exactly the coffee I wanted, watched the program he would have complained about. Small, almost embarrassing freedoms. I felt guilty for noticing them. That guilt is normal. Those small freedoms are not a betrayal. They're just the truth of still being alive. Here is what 45 years of marriage and 6 years of being alone have actually taught me. Your spouse cannot be your only person. Build friendships that belong to you, not to the couple, to you, because those are the ones that will still be there if everything changes. Stay competent. Whatever your partner handles, learn enough to survive without them. Not because you're planning for the worst, because you love yourself enough to remain capable. And talk about death, practically, not morbidly. Know each other's wishes, because grief and paperwork at the same time is a terrible, terrible combination. But the most important thing I know is this: being alone is not the same as being lonely. I am 84 years old. I have been alone for 6 years. I am not the woman I was when Robert was alive. I am smaller in some ways, quieter, but I am also more myself than I have been since I was a young woman, because I had to find out who I was, without being half of something. And it turns out she's still here, a little worn, a little wiser, still surprised by things, still very much alive. If you're still married, put down the phone tonight. Look at the person across from you. And if you've already lost them, I see you. What you're carrying is real, but you are still here, and still being here means there is still something left to do.